happening outside your window, but it is freezing in Philadelphia. It's quite chilly in Philly. What's going on in your neighborhood? Anyhow, we are here again on Friday night for Doctor's Orders, and we are truly excited about that. We have on tap today our favorite chef of Philadelphia, Karen Carlisle. And I'm just going to introduce our healthy living community real quick. Then I'm going to turn it over to my favorite Dr. Google, Coach Carla, Transformation Coach. We are part of a healthy living community known as the Juice Plus community. Juice Plus has been around since 1970. We were the company that introduced smoke detectors. We went into air filtration and water filtration. And then in 1993, with the divine connection between Dr. Smokey Centillo and the Juice Plus crew, we brought whole food, real good powder produce into the marketplace. And we've been here ever since, and that's all we do. We found something we love, and we've been doing it, and we love it. And I'm going to turn it over to Carla as she can continue in the conversation. Carla, it's all you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Ruth Presley, our hostess with the mostest. We're so glad to be here. And as she let you know, we're part of a community that inspires healthy living around the world. I'm Coach Carla Joy, and I have the privilege of being part of the Doctor's Orders presentation here. We're here almost every Friday night, and I think I was looking back, Ruth, and it might be as far as 10 years ago that we started this. So I think we have quite a track record, and I'm just really excited for all of you who keep joining us every week in this process. Now, on my journey, as I said, I'm Coach Carla Joy. On my journey, I had the good fortune of having a buddy that I could drag along with me as I tried to discover how to be healthy because I thought I had won the bad genes lottery. But I thank God for a very good friend who supported me on my journey by going with me to the different places where I was investigating what could we do to be healthier. And now she is a plant-based chef, and she gives us the support and help that we need because making the transition to healthier food, we're so grateful that we found the fruits and vegetables and capsules and gummies and soft chews and the complete shakes and now the Luminate. But there are other things that we have to do. And one of them is to begin to start preparing meals that are healthy for us. And usually she provides us with a demonstration. And so we're going to go back in the archives if you'd like to see some demonstrations of her recipes that we've had some exciting times together. Now, I don't know what she's doing today, but she's got her chef jacket on. So I'm so delighted to introduce to you Chef Karen Carlisle of the Carlisles of Philadelphia, our one and only Chef Karen.
Good evening, everyone. As Carla was saying, I am Chef Karen Carlisle. I am located in Philadelphia. Tonight, we are going to talk about stress, shutting down stress and the role of nutrition. And like again, I said, I am Chef Karen Carlisle. I am the owner and operator of the Art of Healthy Cooking. Now, I'm sorry, just because everything wants to move around. Understanding, understanding stress. Um, Stress is funny. Stress is a natural response to perceived threats or challenges. It's the body's way of reacting to any danger or um, yeah, to any danger or a thought of danger, which is which can be physical, mental, or emotional. Now, the impact on mental health, the stress of impact on mental health. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, is chronic stress can have several effects on mental health, including anxiety, depression, um, emotional exhaustion, and how it affects your mind. And it also has a physical impact on your health. Stress doesn't only affect your mind, it can also take a toll on your body. Cardiovascular issues, immune systems, on your immune system, and sleep. It can mess up your sleep. Now, I'm sorry. Now, I'm going to talk about how you talk about strategies to shut down stress. First, you can do mindful breathing. I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. Managing stress effectively is for overall being and productiveness. For instance, mindful breathing. If everybody can do me a favor, I want you to close your eyes for a minute, take in a deep breath and focus on that, and focus on your exhale slowly, and then inhale again, count to 10 or 5, depending on how you can do it, and then a count of 5 or 10 out. Okay, this simple act can help calm your mind and reduce stress levels. Mindful, mindful, mindfulness meditation can also be a great support for those who believe in God. This is a great opportunity to just sit quietly somewhere and just be in his presence. Um, Also, some quiet music, things like that can help bring down your stress. Also, you can do physical exercise. Um, Engaging in regular physical activities like running, yoga, whatever exercise you like best. I do chair yoga, and I find it very calming, because me trying to get on the floor, nah, it's very stressful for me to get down there, then very, very stressful for me to try to get up. So chair yoga is my jam. Time management. Now, time management is really an important aspect to help you to not be stressful. Because if you take, break down your day or whatever thing you have to do in manageable steps, it helps you not to be so overwhelmed in what you're trying to do. And connecting with others. Um, Spend time with your family or friends, unless they're the ones that's stressing you out. Don't do that. So find people that you can hang with and just, be in their presence and just be more joyful. Also, hobbies. If you like painting, reading, whatever you enjoy doing, that's a good thing to do. Okay. I'm sorry, trying to get back to where I was at. Okay, the role of nutrition in maintaining stress. This is a very, I'm sorry, a very important part of reducing stress. Um, I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to combine, eliminate stress with your nutrition, with what you eat. So, I'm sorry, I can't say this word. Contain nutrients can help your body manage stress more effectively. For example, this doesn't even make sense. Anyhow, foods like spinach, almonds, avocados are excellent sources of potassium. That's what I was trying to say. So if you can get fruits or vegetables that can help with your potassium, it will help you bring down that stress level. Now, fatty acids. Well, we have in Juice Plus a great source of omegas. Our omegas, I should have had the thing, but our omegas have three, there you go, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. They usually used to use fish for omegas, but fish, they eat what causes omegas to come into their bodies. Anyhow, these fatty acids supports brain health and may reduce anxiety. Also, vitamin B. You can find vitamin B's in grains, bananas, and that also helps to bring down the stress levels that are in your body. Now, this is a helps in the influence of a balanced diet. A balanced diet can help stabilize moods and energy levels, making it easy to cope with stress. Using complex carbohydrates, proteins, and antioxidants like blueberries, dark chocolate, your body from oxidative stress. And hydration and caffeine consumption. So we're going to try that again. Also, with hydration and caffeine consumption, hydration is great for your physical and mental well-being. Staying hydrated is something you really need to do, drinking enough water. Um, we suggest that try to stay away from juices and things that really does not help your body to be hydrated. And caffeine is is it doesn't help your body to be hydrated, and it can cause um like with I want to say withdrawal, but it's not good for trying to get rid of stress. Matter of fact, it adds more stress levels. Um, the next thing is, I'm sorry, is um, now how to maintain, how to, like I said before, with mindful breathing and physical exercise, time management, and connection with others and hobbies is a very important aspect for keeping your stress down. Also, with food, you need to make sure you're eating the right foods in the right portions. As I don't want to go too deep in it, but when you're eating the right food, it will do do several things. It will give you the nutrition you need for your body. It will help bring down stress levels with the particular foods that you eat. And it also helps with a healthy lifestyle. So we're coming to the conclusion. If anyone has any questions, please let me know. Um, I also wanted to tell you that that if you are interested in a program that I'm setting up, it's called Nourishing Your Way Through Menopause, a culinary guide for wellness. I can put that information in the chat for you, and you can be a part of our community. So, any questions?
If you have a question, you can either raise your hand, unmute yourself, or put a Q in the chat and we will bring you up on stage with Chef Karen.
Okay. So I just wanted to interject that your eating habits are very important. If you're eating things that are causing you a lot of anxiety or stress, or being around things that's causing you a lot of anxiety, it's better to just, leave that situation, go somewhere, and like I said, do some mindful breathing and or read a book. But staying in a atmosphere that is going to continue to stress you, it's going to do mentally, physically, and emotional harm to you. If you need some more information, I will be delighted to give it to you. I cannot give you everything that needs to be said tonight, but it is would be my pleasure to help you in your journey in healthy eating and reducing stress. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Karen. And I want to add, as Chef Karen puts her contact information or the resource she said that she would put in the chat, as she's doing that, I want to remind you that we also have a resource Dr. Neil Barnard wrote in his book, Body in Balance, so that you can hear, if you like to geek out on the science and the research, that you can find the research to support all the things that Chef Karen told you about today, the breathing, using nutrition to support your reduce your stress, and moving out of an environment that is causing stress, distancing yourself from that environment. So all of those things are that she shared with us, backed up by the science, and you can take a look at the work of Dr. Neil Barnard. Now, he did do a podcast about it, a video session about it, and you can find that in my free Facebook groups. So if that's something that you'd also like, you can check out the my free Facebook group. And if you're not a part of it, but you'd like access to that video, as I said, it supports everything that Chef Karen shared with you and goes into deeper depth if you are like to geek out about the science and the research behind all the points that she made this evening. So those are available for you. Remember that Miss Charlotte will be happy to take your contact information if you'd like to receive the recording or you'd like to have the recording of Dr. Barnard's presentation that supports everything that Chef Karen shared with you today. So, last call for questions. Now, I have a question just in case, Chef Karen. So, you were talking about the role of nutrition. So could I just take like one thing? For example, when I was a child, I used to see my grandfather eating garlic a lot. And so I asked about it, and he said he was taking it to reduce his blood pressure. So could I just eat one type of food and expect to stay calm?
No, this is it's synergy. You can't do just one thing. You need to do, I mean, if you need to start with one thing, okay, I would suggest the breathing exercises, the meditation, maybe some quiet reading. But you need to make sure you're eating right. You make sure you're doing exercises. You make sure you're doing, something to help your mind. Um, so no, one thing. It would be great if you can just take one thing and everything would be lovely, but we don't live in that world right now.
And I think that it's an important point that you make because we actually grew up, many of us, in a microwave environment where you set it and forget it, or you put it in the microwave, counts 10 and comes back out, done. So the idea of just having one thing or doing one thing, it's just really, really tempting. But thank you for reminding us that you can start with one thing, but then you have to add the others because our bodies are really complex, our lives are complex, and it might take some time. And of course, if you need a coach to help you sort out the different issues in your life, I'd be happy to volunteer my support for you on that journey. Chef Karen and I can work together to support you on this journey of being healthy by being stress free.
If I could say one thing more, The other things that you can do to help cut down your stress and time management is pre prep your food. Pick a day to go shopping and cook your food, put it in containers for that whole week. And then when you come home, it's been a busy day or whatever, you don't feel like cooking, you can go to the refrigerator or freezer, pull out something and eat that, you know.
Thank you so much, Chef Karen. Um, what you just said reminded me of another tip that we can use when it comes to reducing stress. Um, a lot of people eat out.
Yes.
So, can you give us any tips on maybe two or three things that we can do? I have a couple, but maybe you have a couple of tips on what we can do. You told us about batch prepping our food beforehand, refrigerating or freezing it so that you can have access to it relatively quickly. What do we do when we're thinking of going out? And that can be really stressful, especially if you're going to a restaurant and you don't know whether or not they'll have food that contributes to stress.
Well, there's several things you could do. Number one, you could eat before you leave. Um, and then that way, when you get there, you can just, be cute and say, oh, I just want a salad, you know. But it's very hard when you're eating out to make sure you eating the right things. You may pick what would be a good dish, but you don't know how they're cooking it. It could be too much oil or some miscellaneous filler they put in there, so you don't know. I would suggest, like I said before, eat at home. And when you go out, soup and salad sounds good, But you could also do is now, when I say this, I'm not saying, no, don't do this often. And I'm talking to me too. But go ahead, get you a small portion of whatever it is. Don't go to the crab joint and get one of those major boxes of the crab, the corn, and all of that stuff. Keep it little. So you just got to be careful when you go out, especially this time that we're in. You don't know what they're putting in the food. You don't know how they're cooking it. And, especially if you're sensitive to different things, you need to be very, very, very cautious.
Thank you. I see Rev Deb raised her hand. Can we bring her up on screen? Do you have a question? Would you like to unmute
Now, I have
yourself?
a question. What foods would you consider as being stress foods that cause stress?
Well, sugary foods. Um, Go ahead, Carla.
Yeah, so sugary foods, go ahead.
Oh, sugary foods. If you are sensitive to um gluten, that can cause stress, especially in your joints. So you have to feel out your body. Things that would I would think would be more stressful is like sodas. Um, this is not a food, but cigarettes, smoking, too much alcohol, things like that can cause stress in your body.
Thank you, Chef Karen. In addition to the sugar, the alcohol, and maybe exposing yourself to drugs like smoking, high-fat foods. Within half an hour of eating any high-fat food, you can get what's called sludging of the blood. So you're not getting, the blood is slowing down. You're not getting as much blood to your brain. And so that creates an environment of stress in your body. And so high fat foods, things that are fried, even plant-based but high fat foods. So you want to reduce look for things that are not high fat. You want to stay away from things that are too sweet and sugary, especially things that are um, desserts, things with artificial coloring. Thank you. The food boss is in the house. So all of those things can trigger anxiety and stress. And one of the things that you can do is call ahead and ask if they can prepare things without oils or with more vegetables, and they can be creative to support you in that way. So all of those are things that you can do. And choosing to drink a lot more water, especially before the meal, that can also help calm you down and minimize the amount of food that you're exposed to. I see. Did that answer your question, Rev Deb?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Let's give it up for Rev Deb. All right, I see the nutrition boss has got her hand raised.
Good evening. When we were talking about going out, because I eat the way I do, I'm vegan. One of the things that I've learned, you learn how to navigate this stuff. I've learned to look at the side orders because you can get a side, like 5 or 6 vegetables that would cost the same thing as a entree. And like Karen was saying, if you go out and you buy the crab or whatever you're going to buy, as soon as they bring it, ask them for a takeaway container and put half of it away even before you touch your plate so that you
Exactly.
don't eat it all. So there's little things that we can do. And then that way you get to savor those crabs for a couple of days rather than all in one meal. Oh yes, dairy is very scary. So
Yeah.
just think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then also think about it, do it. And if you're going to eat the cake, you're going to eat the cookie, you're going to eat the crab, enjoy every bite. So I'm gonna tell you, just enjoy every single bite. Don't be eating with remorse. Oh, I shouldn't eat this. Eat it, girl. Enjoy it. Lick your fingers and everything. Okay. Right, Karen?
Right. But see, that's the thing. We always say we fell off the wagon. No, we didn't. We swung the leg over and swung the other leg over and slid down to the ground. So if you're going to do that, like Ruth said, go ahead, but don't make it every day. You know, and I try to tell people, I know people get little antsy when it comes to meat. Instead of 3 days, 3 times a day, make maybe 3 times a week, 3 times a month, you know, but I know it's hard. It's hard for me because I love me some chicken wings. I will fight you over chicken wings. But I had to learn that is it going to help me get where I want to be? Is it going to help me to get to the weight I want to be? Is it, after a while you feeling like I don't why don't I feel good? It's that greasy chicken wing you had. So you just have to be mindful. Don't beat yourself up, but also realize you control you. There is not a gun to your head making you eat anything.
And with those prophetic words, we want to say thank you so much, Chef Karen, for joining us this evening. Thank you, those who had questions. Thank you, Ruth Presley, our hostess with the mostest. And we want to invite you back to our next time that we'll have doctor's orders. You are invited. Please feel free to bring a friend, and hopefully we'll be able to get the videos out to you soon. I look forward to having you back with us. And at doctor's orders, there's something that we say every time. You may
Eat,
unmute.
eat
More
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 fruits
roots
fruits
and
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 vegetables.
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 Thanks so much for joining us.